So, welcome everyone, and thank you. Thank you for listening. So, let me ask you something. When you walk into a room, what is the first thing that you do? Now, if you are anything like the person this recording is for, you scan instantly, automatically, without even thinking about it. Who is in the room? What mood are they in? Is anyone upset? Is there tension? What do they need? And what might go wrong? How can you make sure everyone is okay? You can feel someone's mood shift from 3 rooms away. You know your partner is annoyed before they know you're annoyed. You have apologized to furniture you bumped into. And you have said sorry for things that are not remotely your fault so many times that it might as well be your name. Hi, I'm sorry. Nice to meet you. And if this sounds familiar, or if you have spent your life managing other people's emotions, shape shifting to keep everyone comfortable, abandoning yourself so smoothly, you barely notice you're doing it, then welcome. You might be in the right place, and what you have been doing has a name. It is called the Fawn response. And today we are going to understand it, honor it, and gently, very gently, begin to come home to the self you have been abandoning. Now, you have probably heard of fight, flight, or freeze, the 3 classic stress responses. When we perceive threat, we either fight back, run away, or shut down. But there's a 4th response that does not get talked about as much, which is fawn. So, fawn is what happens when your system decides, I cannot fight this, I cannot run from it, and I cannot freeze and hope it goes away. So, the only solution here is to appease, to please, to make myself so agreeable, so helpful, so attuned to what they need that they will not hurt me. So, where does this come from? So, fawning usually develops in childhood, specifically in environments where a child learned that their safety depended on managing someone else's emotional state. Maybe there was a parent with unpredictable moods. When they were happy, everything was fine. When they were not, the whole house walked on eggshells. So you learn to read them, to anticipate, to become an expert in what they needed, so you could provide it before they even asked. Maybe love was conditional. You were acceptable when you were good, helpful, and pleasing. When you had needs of your own, when you were difficult, when you took up space, the love withdrew. So you learned to not have needs. Maybe there was a conflict you could not escape. And you figured out that if you just agreed and just smoothed things over, just made yourself small and accommodating, the conflict would pass faster, it'll go away. I first want you to understand something crucial. This was intelligent, this was adaptive, and this was also survival. A child who needs love to survive will do whatever it takes to secure that love. And if pleasing was the strategy that worked, you used it. That was not weakness, that was wisdom, given what you had to work with. The problem is not that you learned this, the problem is that it became automatic. And now, decades later, you might be still fawning, even when you do not need to, even when it cost you everything. So, let us talk about what fawning actually costs, because it might be costing you a lot. First thing, there is sheer exhaustion. Running a 24/7 emotional weather station is tiring. Constantly scanning, assessing, adjusting. Always one step ahead of everyone else's needs. And it's never off duty. You know how some people can just exist in a room, just be there, without monitoring everyone's internal states. Now just imagine that freedom. Meanwhile, you're over here running a sophisticated emotional surveillance operation and wondering why you're tired all the time. But the deeper cost is this: you lose yourself. When you're constantly focused on what others need, you stop knowing what you need. When you're always shape-shifting to please, you forget what shape you actually are. What do you want for dinner? I do not know. What do you want? What would make you happy? I do not know what would make you happy. What is your opinion? I do not know. What is your opinion? So this is not just being easygoing. This is a form of self-erasure, if that's the right phrase. You have abandoned your own inner compass so thoroughly that you genuinely do not know which way is north anymore. And here is the spiritual cost, if we can call it that. You disconnect from your own soul's knowing, your intuition, your deep yes and your deep no's. Because fawning requires you to override your own signals constantly. Your gut says no, but you say yes anyways. Your body says leave, but you stay. Your soul says this is not right for me, but you smile and agree anyway. And after years of this, you stop trusting yourself. Maybe you stop hearing yourself altogether. And underneath all this pleasing, there is often resentment. Buried, denied, but there. Because part of you knows. Part of you is angry that you keep giving yourself away. Part of you is tired of being the one who accommodates. But the anger is not allowed either. So it goes underground, comes out sideways, or turns into depression, because depression is often anger without the permission to exist. Now, as a holistic therapist, what really interests me is where fawning lives in your body, because it absolutely has a physical signature. First, there is hypervigilance, the scanning. Notice your eyes right now. Are they soft or are they working? Fawners often have eyes that are always on, reading, assessing, and gathering data all the time. Notice your ears, always listening for shifts in tone, for signs of displeasure, and for early warning signals. Your whole sensory system may be calibrated to external input, always tracking the environment and very rarely at rest. There is often tension in the body as well. Shoulders are slightly lifted, muscles are slightly braced. A readiness to respond, to help, and to fix is there as well. Fawners do not tend to fully relax, because relaxing means letting your guard down, and you learned that letting your guard down was not safe. But here is the interesting thing. While the outer body is vigilant and tense, the center often feels collapsed, empty, and disconnected. So the gut, or the place where you might feel your own desires, your own knowing, your own yes and no, might feel numb, absent, like no one is home. Because you have been so focused outward for so long that you have vacated your own center. The throat is often involved too. Words you could not say, truth you had to swallow, and all those times you wanted to say no and had to say yes instead. The throat of a chronic fawner can feel tight and constricted, like there's something stuck, because there is years and years of unexpressed truth. So the body map of fawning often looks like this: hypervigilant senses, tension in the shoulders and back, collapsed center, and a constricted throat. All of it pointing to the same thing, that someone who learned to focus outward and abandon inwards. I want to talk about something important now, something you may have lost touch with, which is your no. For people who fawn, no is terrifying. No means rejection, no risk anger, and no risk the withdrawal of love. So you learn to yes your way through life. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, of course. Yes, no problem. But here is the truth. A yes that cannot say no is not really a yes. It is a hostage situation. Your no is sacred. It is the boundary where you end and another person begins. It is the guardian of your energy, your time, and also your life force. When you cannot say no, you leak. Energy goes out and does not come back. You give until you're empty, and then you give some more. And then you wonder why you feel depleted all the time. Reclaiming your no is not selfish. It is not mean. It is essential. It is how you take up space in the world. It is how you exist as a separate person with your own needs, your own preferences, and your own sacred life. And underneath that no, there is something else you need to reclaim: your own inner knowing. The felt sense of what is right for you. The gut feeling that tells yes to this, no to that. The intuition you may have been overriding for so long. It is still there. It has been waiting quietly, patiently for you to come back and listen. So this is what we are going to do in today's guided practice. We are going to come home to the self you have been abandoning. We are going to find out what is there when you stop managing everyone else's. Now, before we move into this practice, I want to say something about relationships, because this is where fawning plays out most intensely. If you have been a chronic fawner, Your relationships have been built on a certain foundation. You abandon yourself to keep the other person comfortable. And I'll say this again. You abandon yourself to keep the other person uncomfortable. This works in a way. It keeps the peace. It avoids conflict. And it makes you easy to be around. But it is not intimacy, because they are not actually in a relationship with you. They are in a relationship with the performance of you, the accommodating version, the one who never has needs. And here is the uncomfortable part. When you start to change, when you start to have needs, opinions, when you start to say no, some of your current relationships might struggle. People who are used to the old version of you, the agreeable you, might not know what to do with this new person who actually has a self. And that is okay. And it is actually necessary. Because the relationships that can only survive on your self-abandonment are not the ones worth keeping. And the ones that can hold the real you, those are the ones that matter. It is scary to stop fawning in relationships. I know. It feels like risking everything. But you cannot have a real connection while you're hiding. You cannot be truly loved for who you are if you have never let anyone see who you are. The fawning kept you safe once, and now it keeps you lonely. So it is time now for something different. Now that we have an understanding of fawning, we can try and do a very gentle journey to see if anything shows up for you today. So, wherever you are, just find a comfortable position. Sitting is good, lying down is good, standing also works. Whatever. Just let yourself arrive here with my words. There is no one else's comfort to manage right now, just yours. How can I be most comfortable wherever I am? If it feels okay, let your eyes close. If it feels okay, keep your eyes open. Take a breath now and let it be for you, not to calm someone else down, not to prepare to help somebody, for you. Breathing and settling. Notice your eyes behind your closed lids. Notice if they are still working, still scanning, even with nothing to see. Give them permission to rest. Let them stop gathering data. You are safe and there's nothing to monitor right now. Notice your ears now. Are they listening for something? For someone else's needs? For someone's tone shift? Or for something that might require your response? Let them soften. Let the vigilance ease, because you're off duty now. Notice your shoulders. Are they braced? ready to help, let them drop. Let them soften. Nothing to carry right now. Now, and this might feel unfamiliar, I want you to turn your attention inwards, not outwards, where it usually lives, inwards. Feel the center of your body, your belly, your gut, the core of you. This is the place you have vacated, the place you left in order to focus on everyone else. It might be empty, numb, unfamiliar, and that is okay. Just notice. And now, gently say this, silently or out loud. I am here. I am coming back. I am here. I am coming back. I am here. I am coming back. Just feel what happens when you say that. Feel the center of your body receiving these words. Now feel your seat. Feel your weight. Feel how you take up space. Actual physical space. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have weight, presence, and substance. You are allowed to be here in a way that is not about making anyone else comfortable. Just you. Here in your body, taking up exactly the space you take up. Now bring your attention back to your gut, your belly, the place where your own knowing lives. And ask gently, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? What do I need right now? Not what does anyone else need. Not what I should need. What do I actually need right now in this body? Now, it might be subtle, a whisper after years of silence, or it might be loud and clear. Either way, just listen. This is your inner compass. It has been here the whole time, waiting for you to ask. Let whatever you need right now show up in your awareness. And trust what is shown to you. Now, I want you to feel your no. Think of something you said yes to when you meant no. Something recent or anything that comes to mind, where you abandoned yourself to please someone else. When you think of that situation, that time, that person, I want you to feel it in your body. Where does that unexpressed no live? Your throat, your gut, your chest, or somewhere else? Now, silently or out loud, let yourself say what you could not say. I want you to simply say the word no. No. And just feel how your body responds. Does it relaxed? Does it feel scared? Or does it feel powerful? Say it again if you want. No, that does not work for me. No, I'm not available for that. No, that does not work for me. No, I am not available for that. Just let your body know that you are allowed to say no, that no is safe now, and you can protect yourself. And now feel your yes, your real yes, not the automatic yes that keeps the peace, the yes that comes from your gut. What does your body say yes to? What do you actually want? So just say these words or receive them. Yes, this is right for me. Yes, I want this. Yes, this is right for me. Yes, I want this. Let yourself feel what a genuine desire feels like in your body. It might be rusty, it might be faint, but it's there. Now, as we have practiced and found our no's and our yeses, from this place, from your center, from your gut, from the self you have been abandoning, make a quiet commitment to yourself today. I am not leaving myself again. I am staying here, in this body, in my own life. My needs matter, my no matters, my yes matters. I am allowed to exist for myself and not just for others. I am not leaving myself again. I am staying here in this body, in my own life. My needs matter, my no matters, my yes matters. I am allowed to exist for myself, not just for others. Feel that commitment in your body, in your spine, in your gut, and in your ground. Now take a breath and let it fill your center. Feel your weight, feel your presence, feel the you taking up space. Come back to the room, come back to the space, to the sounds, to the temperature, to your fingers, to your toes, to your feet, to your calves, to your chest, to your belly. And when you're ready now, come back to yourself. If your eyes were closed, you can open them now. And welcome back. You have just done something important. You turned your attention inward. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you felt for yourself instead of feeling for everyone else. The Fawn response kept you safe. It helped you survive situations where you had no power and where pleasing was the only option. And it deserves respect for that. And it is also a cage now. It keeps you trapped in a life of self-abandonment, chronic accommodation, and of never fully being here. Here is what can change now. You can start to notice, to catch yourself mid-fawn, to pause before the automatic yes. You can check in with your gut before you respond. You can ask, what do I actually want here? What do I need? What is my truth? So this will feel uncomfortable at first. It might even feel dangerous. Your system learned that having a self was risky. So unlearning that might take some time. But here is the thing. You are allowed to have a self. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to exist for your own sake and not just as a support system for everyone else. Revolutionary, I know. Having your own life, such a wild concept. There is something in there beneath all this pleasing, all the accommodating, all the shape-shifting. Someone with their own wants, their own knowing, and their own path. That someone has been waiting patiently for years, for decades, waiting for you to stop managing everyone else so you can come home. So you are home now. Stay a while. And on that note, thank you. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.